All right, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our regular scheduled meeting for tonight. We are going to get this meeting started at 6:02 p.m. If I can start with roll call, please. Madam Secretary.
VP Bowman.
Present.
I'm present. Trustee Dooley.
Present.
Trustee Gross.
Present.
President Hannah.
Present.
Trustee Miller.
Present.
VP Bowman. I'm sorry. Treasurer Terry.
Present.
That passes.
All right, thank you. If we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion for the approval of our agenda, please?
So moved.
It's been moved by Trustee Gross, supported by Trustee Dooley for the approval of the agenda. Any questions? Roll call.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
All right, thank you. Recognition of elected officials. Good evening again, trustees. It's good to see you. And I don't see any others in our audience. Can I get a motion for the approval of the consent agenda?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved by VP Bowman, supported by Trustee Gross for the approval of consent agenda. Any questions? Roll call.
Trustee Dooley.
Thank you. Moving down to information from the superintendent and administration. Dr. Leverett, the meeting is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah, and good evening, trustees. At this time, I would like to turn it over to Dr. Devison. The Curriculum and Instruction Department has been throughout the school year providing updates from every school, and our next school that we have up is ITA. So at this time, I'll have Dr. Devison.
Good evening to everyone, to the trustees, and also to the community. We have today for you ITA, which Mr. Carafa is the building principal, and he will be presenting about ITA. Thank you.
Raise this up a little bit. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me today. And so I want to first start off by saying that the ITA team is wanted to pass along their thanks to the school board and to our administration and central office and curriculum instruction for the support you give us at our building. And I'm going to show you just a brief, kind of a brief look at a snapshot of ITA and what it looks like today. So if you take a look at the first slide, which, and again, if you didn't know this, ITA is a K-12 building, so it does, yep.
If I may ask, are you comfortable with holding the mic? Because we can't see the board behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, my man.
Yeah, I'm
You
good
can
like
slide-
that.
There you go.
I'm fine. That's actually better for me, I think. So
Thank you. So
I'll walk a little bit.
we working together.
Oh, there we go.
brother.
ITA K-12, and if you look here, first of all, we have the enrollment for our K-5 group. It's pretty balanced. There's a couple areas, second and third grade, where you see a little bit of a difference between the male and female students, and also third grade is a little bit of a little concern for us with 23 students, but we are always actively recruiting through our enrollment process or through the other schools within the district if they have students they want to send our way. But we do have 185 students at the K-5 level, and then who's got the, okay, so, and then 612, also here it is, 434 students at the 612 level. Again, and this is much more balanced male-female ratio here for our school, but again, always looking to add some students, and this year we have added quite a few students from our sister schools and the elementary at the 5th grade level and the 4th grade level too, and also 6th as well. What you're looking at here is our daily attendance percentages It kind of, I think that they're fairly similar to some of the other schools in the district. We hover around 80, a little over 80% each day. There was a little bit of, if you notice, and it's the same thing for our 612, but there was a little bit of a dip in November, and I think that when I looked back at some of the data, it fell around the Thanksgiving holiday, the day before Thanksgiving holiday, that half day. Usually, even though we have school usually for parents and for kids, it's that half day, so it's kind of getaway day, and so they're traveling, so that's a tough one. But overall, we hover around the mid 80% range for our attendance in K-5. And then 612 is a little bit bigger, a little bit more in the 612 area. You can see November is a little different too. They're going for credits, and they're going for graduation and different pathways. So that's why I think you see a little bit more of the higher in November than the K-5. But again, those are higher. Those are higher overall. I think they're creep a little bit higher into the higher 80% levels there. The MySIP goal updates, it's always a work in progress. And at ITA especially, we are looking closely, not only do we appreciate the support for reading and writing through our curriculum instruction department with our different programs from Wit and Wisdom to Phonics First, but also our math, Miss Jackson, our math help as well. Both areas, reading, writing, and math, are areas that we continue to focus on. I think it's district-wide, but we really try to focus on those scores of our students. We look at the data from the iReady for the lower grades and also the NWEA grades. Those are more of our local data. We like that data, but it also can be deceiving sometimes because we test so much that sometimes even early on, maybe the first test of the year, the kids aren't really into it yet. Second test, they might try their best. Third test, they're kind of wiped out because that comes after PSAT or SAT or MSTEP, which is more tests. So, but we do like our data, and our data has shown us that there is a need for some of the intervention courses in not only it's K-12, so not only our lower grades, but our upper grades. And so second semester, we have added some intervention courses for English and math, which we did have last year as well. But we kind of started this year, not by looking at our data from last year, we thought that it wasn't a necessary need to start the year that way, but now we see that we need that as well. So we are moving back towards that, and we are continually looking at our data to kind of inform our instruction and our instructional deliveries. Again, to our math and English departments, curriculum instruction, they really give us a lot of support, and science as well. I can't even for a minute say that we don't rely on our science department help as well, because it's really been a lot of the things that we get from there are helping us to kind of climb that ladder. All right, a couple of celebrations. This is our 612 celebration, so we're kind of going to go backwards a little bit on this one and do the little guys next. But most recently, at our last board meeting when I was here, you heard about our sixth grader students that received $100 scholarships for band. That was recent. We also had a really cool but over here in the corner, those gentlemen there wearing those little guys wearing the cowboy hats. We had the roving chef come in. So part of our food service program, they offer a roving chef program where they bring in chefs to actually cook or have the students cook. Those students made a broccoli salad for the entire building. So it was quite interesting and quite tasty. PBIS monthly recognition awards. And weekly, we do school-wide PBIS, so K-12. We honor our kids and our staff weekly, monthly, and then each semester. And then we'll do it at the end of the year, also a big recognition ceremony. Student of the month, we do that every month as well. This is what it looks like when we do our PBIS winners. We take pictures. All these pictures we put on our big screen, so we have these big screens in our building too, in each wing, so we put them on each side so the kids can see themselves and the teachers. Student of the month, we did that again this month, voted on by the teachers and staff and students as well. The students will vote for the staff of the month, and the staff will vote for the students.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Real quick. Could you just break down the SWPBIS for the ones that
Yes, sir.
are not aware what that is?
School-wide positive behavior interventions and supports. So we have a ticket system at ITA. It's Caught Being Good. If you ever come by, we got little business cards. They got the Pontiac logo on them, and it says, "You've been caught being good." And we write this, give it to the student. They write their name on the top.
like that. You've been caught being
You've been caught being good. You write the name on the top. The presenter, the awarder, if I give it to you, I put my name on it. You put your name on it. Walk down by my office. Right in front of my office, there's 4 boxes, staff, and the 3 different grade levels. You put your card in a box. Every Friday, we do a drawing. And so these folks right here were recipients of the last week's, and they get usually something to drink. I got waters. I try to push the water on them, but I do have Kool-Aids, and then they get like a chips and a candy, and I have a little $5. One of our gentlemen from the DHA Department of Health and Human Services gave us $5 gift cards, so I give them those 5 to Dollar Tree or it's Dollar Tree, and I have McDonald's and TJ Maxx and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different cards for them to pick from. So we honor them with this SWPBIS program. We also do field days, field trips, things like this as part of that program. Students earn their way into it. We have expectations. They earn their way into it. It's great. NHS induction ceremony this year. Mrs. Kramer did a great job. 35 new members this year. This was about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago we did that. 35 new members along with, I think there was already 20-some current members, so it's a big group of National Honor Society. Right now we're currently 99.8% is what Mrs. Smolinski told me to tell you. We have one student that is currently not on track, but that student is going to make it. Okay, they're not on track, but they have the works cut out in front of them. Okay, we're looking for 100% again this year. We were 100% last year. 12 students currently attend the Cranbrook College program. It is a very hard to get into program that they use for some of our upperclassmen. It goes along with the individuals, the 12 students that attend Cranbrook, kind of goes along with the prestigiousness, is that a word? I don't know, of the Evans Scholarship. We have 2 students that are receiving the Evans Scholarship again this year. And also we have 1 student that made the Dean's List for the honor roll at the early college. This student has a 3.5 GPA in 6+ credits classes. So I think he's taken 3 classes. Yeah, he's awesome. I might have to bring him back next month. And then go to our K-5. A lot of good things happening down here. Same thing, we do have weekly, monthly student staff recognitions, Caught Being Good, Student of the Month. We honored our perfect attendance classes on Count Day with a pizza and popsicle party. The kids loved it. Count Day, the entire elementary crew put together some Count Day goodie bags. Kids, again, went nuts for those Count Day bags. It really, we had a good attendance on that Count Day. We're hoping for same thing coming up. Also today, Frank was by to videotape our Lionhearted performance. It was awesome, and we're doing another one for the 6th through 8 and 9-12 on February 11th. So if you guys want to stop by for that, it's during the school day at ITA in the multipurpose. It's awesome. It really is. And our Kaleo kids are another group that comes, one of our partners from Kensington. They're great. Work with our kids. Our kids love being part of it. So much so that this is brand new news, folks. Breaking news. The 6th grade PAL soccer team starts tomorrow. Brand new program, just started. We had so many kids asking that they said, we're going to do it for you guys. So they normally do a 3-5 only. They're doing 6th grade. So excellent. Pretty exciting. And this young lady right here also was honored at PAL. I went to I think it was around Christmas time or maybe a little after, they did a brunch for the partnerships, and she was featured in their program, and also they had posters of her hanging up all over the place, and she was our Pontiac student. So I honored her. I said, hey, did you see her poster up there? She's like, yeah, I saw that. So she was excited to be there. And okay, that's the state of the state at ITA. So,
All right. Trustees, any questions or comments? No. Okay, comment, VP?
Thank you for all that you do over at the ITA building, and I'm glad to see that you have nice initiatives plugged in for their students to keep them excited and interested. So thank you very much for that.
Oh, I wanted to say, and that wasn't, the robotic stuff. I had a slide, there was stuff for robotics also in 612 because, three things, I'm going to think off the top of my head. They were state champions last year. Okay, so state champions, that's amazing. Went to the Worlds. We were not world champions, but we placed high in the Worlds. This year, we have so far hosted the middle school competition at the multipurpose, our second year in a row. Amazing turnout. All the teams that come love it. So I recommend if we can, whoever approves that, keep approving it because it's great for the school district and for robotics. And then this year already, our high school team came in second place in their first competition this year. So that was about 2 weeks ago, second place. They're gearing up for the big one coming up, and I think we're going to see some more state championships. So
Awesome.
So that was, sorry, I forgot to include that there.
All right. Trustee Dooley.
I think it's a wonderful thing what you're doing as it relates to the celebrations, celebrating the kids, the incentives. So now, in your data tracking, how effective has these programs been that are correlated to improvement in attendance, academic achievement? That's one question. You want to go answer and then I'll do, or you want to do all of them?
Well, I was going to, go ahead, ask me that.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we really kind of started scratching the surface. What we really looked at first was our behavior data.
Okay.
As in relation to our PBIS program. And we have seen a significant drop in behavior referrals, suspension, and, well, we don't see any, I don't think there's any expulsions this year. So, a significant drop in both suspension and behavior referrals. Now, our next step is to start looking at grades, which we're gonna, what's coming next is the programs, we're still starting off. So we started last year, but this is only our second year. It usually takes about 3 years for something like this to be effective. But this year we're implementing our SWPBIS student expectations, which include academic expectation and behavior and attendance expectations as well. So we're going to have some big events coming up, and for students to qualify, they have to hit those 3 criteria. All right. Obviously, with attendance, we have some leeway because we don't, there's always a situation at home. We're not sure that, forces can't control a sickness or a death in the family, things like this. But when it boils down to it, if you've got 6 classes, we expect you to pass 6 classes. You expect you to be, behavior free. I mean, every once in a while somebody has an issue, but you shouldn't be suspended from school. And once we start getting that data, I'll be able to come back to you and tell you, hey, this is how it correlates.
And then you talked about student decrease in performance. It was with the language arts piece. What identifiable skills have been tested to give you that information, and what remedial programs or support have you put in place?
So we have, so basically what we use is our NWEA test for math, for math and English. And so in that case, we saw that I believe that was in relation to English. We saw overall on our students' scores from last year to this year, their first test and their second test of the winter, which they just took, we've seen a decrease in just their overall performance. And it's not necessarily one piece of anywhere in there we can find. It's like all over the board. Some kids are, went from here to here, and some kids went from here to here. So it's kind of what we really want to do is get a full year's worth of data to find out exactly what they're lacking, I guess, skills-wise. But in the meantime, with the data we have now, we are starting our second semester with the intervention courses for students that are either in English or math that might need some extra support. And also our tutoring program is kicked off finally. So we're also giving a little bit of a remediation through that. Then we have our elementary teachers meeting with our English, Miss Jeter. I'm pointing over there, but I don't know if she's even over there. Oh, yeah, Miss Jeter's, Miss Jeter. Miss Jeter has been really working with the entire district, but especially at ITA, we have a cohort group of teachers that's really working hard on their phonics first, and their wit and wisdom, because the bottom line is we have to be efficient in those programs in order for students to start showing a lot of improvement. And so that's kind of where we're at as far as those goes. We're continuing to work hard, and we got some new staff down at the elementary level that's really learning some new things and trying to catch up with everybody else. And so it's a work in progress, but we're getting there.
And my last question, you said there was only one student that made the dean list. How many potential students were there?
We have only right now, so that's a different program. That's the early college. So that's
how
the one where we
many-
have a 13th year.
What's the enrollment would be my question.
Right now at ITA, I believe there's only 2 or 3 kids.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and so and the fun thing about that one is that's the one where they go for their 13th year of school. So they technically graduate with the kids, but then they go to the middle college at the end of their 13th year. And then when they finish there, they get their actual diploma. Right? So the reason why that might be a little low is because some kids, I think they get into the program and then they with senior year comes around, they start freaking out a little bit because, oh, I'm not going to be with my friends anymore. They really are, but it just seems like that because, oh, you're going to middle college, they're going to Oakland University or whatever. So it's just a little freak out moment sometimes for the kids, but it's really a great program. And that young man, I'll bring him into you guys, you'll see him, he's awesome.
Yeah. I wanted to see, I noticed you had 55% of your seniors have completed their FAFSA. So that's exciting. I know this is February now, but that tells us that at least those students are preparing for what's next.
Yes.
And so that's exactly what we want to see. So I'm glad to see your percentage up so high.
We hope to get it higher.
Yes.
And we'll have another day for parents and students to do it together in the building as well.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, trustees, any other questions? All right, thank you.
Great job.
Dr. Jefferson?
Thank you. That concludes curriculum and instruction report. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Trustees, if I can get a motion for the approval of nope, that's not it.
No, not yet.
All right, that's good. We're going right back over to Dr. Leverett.
Okay, this is for discussion and action, our Communities and Schools of Michigan agreement. They have already been working since July. This is their 3rd year in the district, and I have them scheduled for, I believe they did a presentation back in the summer. I have them, all 3 of those schools, scheduled for a presentation at our next board meeting on February 17th. Communities in Schools, just to give you an overview of what I have personally seen at these 3 sites. When we talk about students' social-emotional well-being, when we talk about the life skills that students need to be successful, as well as the soft skills, there is just a myriad of things that go along with this partnership that have yielded some great outcomes for us. While I don't have the data to share with you today, we most certainly will present that to the board on the 17th because, again, we have been in this partnership for 3 years. They are currently at 3 of our schools and been doing some great work with our students. So this is for discussion and action. The Pontiac School District is committed to fostering academic excellence, student well-being, and community engagement. However, many students face challenges that extend beyond the classroom, including economic hardship, food insecurity, mental health struggles, and a lack of access to essential resources. These barriers can hinder students' ability to focus on their education, leading to lower attendance rates, academic underperformance, and increased dropout rates, all of which our partners in community schools are assisting our students with. Communities in Schools of Michigan is a proven evidence-based organization dedicated to eliminating barriers to student success by embedding site coordinators within schools. Communities in Schools of Michigan provides wraparound services tailored to the unique needs of each student. These services include academic support, mentorship, mental health counseling, basic needs assistance, and family engagement programs, all of which contribute to a more supportive and stable learning environment. Communities in Schools of Michigan provides integrated student support to 3 Pontiac School District schools, Pontiac High School, Pontiac Middle School, and Whitman Elementary. The partnership between PSD and CISM would be a transformative step towards ensuring every student in the school listed has the opportunity to succeed academically, socially, and emotionally by leveraging CISM's expertise and resources, Pontiac School District can enhance its student support system, reduce dropout rates, and create a more inclusive, thriving educational environment. This collaboration would reaffirm Pontiac School District's commitment to addressing the whole child's needs, ultimately leading to a stronger schools and a brighter future for Pontiac youth. It is the recommendation of administration and Pontiac that the Board of Education approve the agreement with Community Schools of Michigan for an amount not to exceed $37,500, which is $7,500 each for 2 full-time sites, which are Pontiac High School and Pontiac Middle School, and $22,500 for 1 full-time site at Walt Whitman Elementary School.
Thank you, Dr. Leverett. Trustees, questions? Yes, Treasurer Terry.
I'm glad you noted it also, but they're going to provide their presentation on the 17th. Okay. I would like to, and this is just obviously on the board as well, but I'd like to maybe table this one until we can actually see the report, do that review on I guess how successful and how impactful it has been, and then at least be able to have those discussions after we receive that information and that presentation before moving forward with the contract renewal and stuff.
VP, what'd you say?
So if we table this, would that impact anything with the timing
It's a
of?
time sensitive.
No,
Okay.
no, that would be fine.
I was gonna ask the
Okay.
same question, is it time sensitive?
Okay, we can,
Okay, so I would like to make a motion that we table the contract renewal for the communities in school until we receive the presentation and updates from them regarding the progress report and the status.
okay. It's been moved by Treasurer Terry and supported by Trustee Dooley to table the approval of the Communities and Schools of Michigan Payment and Support Agreement until the February 17th meeting after we have heard their presentation. Any questions? Comment?
I would just like to say, I am aware of that program, and it is very beneficial for our students. But what I would like to see is that we incorporate the community as a wraparound for the services, because this is for the total child, the whole child, and there are services that possibly could support the families in relationship to paying bills, rent, that type of thing, that could be barriers for the students coming to school. So I would like that to be looked at.
Okay, all right. Noted. Thank you. All right, any other comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gross,
Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
I'm voting yes, and Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, moving on down our agenda under Board of Education. So the official 2025 ballot to elect members to the MASB Board of Directors has been sent out. The ballot is how our school district members exercise their voice and decide who governs their association. This year, 8 seats are up for election, 3-year terms unless otherwise noted. 5 candidates are unopposed, Regions 1, 3, and 4, and Group 5 and 6. Ballots will only be distributed to Regions 6, 7, and 8. Each district will receive 1 ballot, which will be emailed and be submitted by the board secretary on behalf of the district. The ballot's deadline is 1 p.m. on Wednesday, March 5th. Recommendation. It is the recommendation the Pontiac Board of Education nominate Dr. Anisha Hanna to serve on the MASB Board of Director for a 3-year term. So last time, we did a vote to support me for running for that position. So now that the ballots are out and it's official, then now the board has to officially vote on their nomination. So that is what this is for. So are there any questions or comments?
We are a part of Region 8. How many seats are up for Region 8? Because that was kind of confusing when I read it.
There are I think there's about 8 people
It's 8
running
people
for-
running, but for how many seats?
1 seat.
1 seat?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, so any questions? And I think you guys got the email with everybody's bio inside of it. Okay.
Yeah, we've been getting them.
All right, good. So if I could get a motion for the, to vote for our candidate for the MASB Board of Directors.
So moved.
All right, it's been moved by VP Bowman, supported by Trustee Dooley, to vote for our nominee for the MASB Board of Directors. Any questions? I do have a question. Do I get to vote? Seekers? I vote too? Okay. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Okay. I think so.
Just majority.
Majority. Okay.
majority.
All right, any, no more questions? Roll call, please.
No question.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
All right, thank you. All right, that part is done. All right, now moving down the agenda to our operations maintenance items, Dr. Leverett.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hannah. At this time, I'll call Marvin Beasley and Cody. They're going to provide a bond program construction update. This is just a report.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Evening.
Good evening. There, I'll move off to the side so you guys can see the screen over here. Okay, I haven't seen you guys since the new year. Happy New Year. And those of you who don't know me, Cody Farber with Saxon Construction, the project manager. So I'm here today to kind of give you an update of where we're at with Harrington Elementary, to kind of give you just a background of what we're doing in case you don't know, and just an overall grasp of everything going on. So Harrington Elementary is around 50,400 square feet in size, so pretty good sized building overall. We started, had boots on the ground in October 21st of 2024 last year, and right now we're targeting to be completed in early July there. And then just the scope of the work, we're doing a lot of infrastructure upgrades, so that's mechanical equipment, air handler units, lighting and controls, and just there's flooring now and doors and windows and just a whole envelope. There's a generator going in there. New secured vestibule that we added in as we're going here just to get that security end tightened up there in front so they're not just walking to school and then having to walk right in the office there. Next slide, please. Okay, so I'll kind of give you a little overview of the building. And this is how we have it broken out as we talk to our trade partners and just as we're going through the project. So IDS is the architect on the project, and on their drawings, they have 3 different areas, area A, B, and C. And so that's kind of how we reference things as we're going through the project. And that's kind of how we sequence things as construction's going and how we're flowing through the building. Next slide, please. So this on the side here is a little summary, and this is area A. So I'll kind of give you where we're at. All the selective demolition of everything is completed. The new life safety room that was put in place is installed. All the electrical equipment's in right now, starting to get wired. All the new electrical conduit feeders running down the hallways, and you'll see this in the pictures coming up here, are in. And then in the classrooms that are standalone have new vertical unit ventilators, so new air conditioning and heating inside the classrooms going down, especially area B and then into area A. Back in the back side of the building, they have their own air handler unit back there. There's a tunnels running through the schools. I'm not sure if everyone knows. There's tunnels in schools. Majority of them, the older the buildings are, they're there. A lot of the piping has been removed and it's being replaced as we're going. And then almost every walls in the school have now been prepped and primed with the first coat of paint. So moving right along there. Next slide, please. So down in area B, this is almost like rinse and repeat here. Every area's got teams moving throughout. Same thing, there's already ductwork installing, you'll see in pictures. The walls have been primed and prepped, and then a change that was made as we were going, kind of as we've walked the site just about every week, and it made sense, is the main office there. if you walked in there, you're almost back, you're dated, right? And so it was like a no-brainer. Let's revamp the main office there. So new walls, new everything, new doors and everything in the office. And then in the boiler room, this is such an amazing feat. You'll see an older picture of what was in there, and then once we're complete, we'll come back with an update. But just the size of the units that are in there to what goes in, it's just it's amazing. So next slide, please. And this is in the back of the building, Area C. Same thing, all the electrical roughs plumbed in, the walls have been primed and painted. Back in Area C, it's a little more ahead. The ceiling grid has started to go in almost every classroom. So moving right along there. And then just the floor prep's going to start here in the future back in Area C. Next slide. So on the exterior of the building, eventually the entire parking lot is going to get a nice little facelift. Just a seal coat, fill the cracks, new striping, because you can't really see any of the parking spots anymore. New striping and painting of the 3 courts that are out there. And then some new paving back by the generator. And then they moved the dumpster pad closer to the building for the staff to not have to walk across the parking lot. And then a new front entry canopy into the building. Right now it's an L shape.
Yep.
And then this will just go straight out. That walk will still be there, but it'll be a nice new canopy out front. Next slide, please. Okay, so here we are. I know they're kind of small from where everyone's sitting, but this is down the main hallway in corridor A, in area A, I should say. These are all your new conduit feeders, all nicely plumbed in here, and they all end up back into this life safety room on the far right there. And this is the wall. This is like the most transformation, because I think you'd walk by it if you were at the school, because there used to be a wall right here. And this goes back towards the basketball courts. It's kind of a middle corridor on the north side there. They removed that wall, so that opened it right up, but really just changed that space altogether. Next slide. Okay, so this is the most impressive room of the school. It just takes you really the back. It's real wood. You don't see wood like this anymore. It's pretty amazing. So right now it's all wired, not wired, but all the conduits are in place. The wire's pulled for all the new lighting. The ductwork's ready to go up. It's right there in the pictures in the middle. You'll see on the ground. We're getting new stage curtains up there, and the wood floor on the stage and on the main floor is going to get refinished at the very end of the project. And one of the highlights here, we were able to take the floor covering that we had over at WHRC, bring it over to Harrington, and utilize it to cover the wood floor in here to protect it as we're going through. And then the far right picture is in the kitchen. Again, it's just, you really see once the ceilings are out, like just how amazing the structure is there and just everything going on. So next slide. So as I was talking about the main office, the picture on the left was kind of an example, if you haven't been there, of the walls and what it looked like in there before. Just dated with all the windows, and they all had like the opaque glass on it, just kind of give that privacy. But just what talks with Marvin and the team made sense. Let's put in the new walls with metal stud and just drywall and get rid of these windows, give more privacy and security in there, but really just change that space altogether. And the picture on the right just kind of gives you that framing. Okay, so you got next slide. This is the boiler room. On the left was the existing, so you had these massive units that were in there, which now you could see on the right, those are gone. You can see how big this space is, and just the units that now go are probably the size of this podium right here, right? They're a little bigger and longer, but just the height-wise, it's a lot smaller.
That's old right there.
Yeah.
Can I ask, so with the units that were removed, were they recycled, reused, or just tossed, or?
They were tossed. There's asbestos in them, and they're taken apart.
You're talking about 1876.
Well, not reused, but recycled material.
Yeah, so the demolition trade partner does recycle. They have their separate dumpsters that they take separate.
These are 3,000 years old. You don't want that.
So the district trade partner, Archer Environmental, had their crew come in, and they abated what they could off of those or what they needed to. And then the demolition contractor takes and separates materials, and they recycle them from there.
Exactly.
If you ask Marvin, he said he worked on these back in the day.
20 years ago. I remember when we paid the money to have them fixed.
So the picture on the right is the new equipment pads that are poured. This is pretty much what the room looks like. A little more piping's in there now, but we're prepping to get the new units put in.
You all right?
Next slide, please. Okay, and this is down in Area B. It's almost the same. It's hard to tell in the pictures, but you're looking down the corridors. All the new piping's in, the insulating's done. And then from the corridors, you can see the hydronics of the water piping in the middle picture here, coming from the middle, going through where there used to be a glass window. It's now a fighter-rated panel there. Goes through into the space to feed the new units in there.
Nice.
Next slide. So this is a look into one of the classrooms of what it'll look like, obviously without the finishes. But in the left picture, you can see all the ductwork's in place. In the back left corner, depending on which room you're in, is the new vertical unit ventilator, which is the air conditioning and heating in the space. And if that used to be an old window in that area, and I'll show you some pictures later on, but as you're driving by the building, you'll see it's like the building front view has almost changed. There's louvers now, so it looks very nice, flawless, like it's been there before. But then the picture on the right is just an up-close version of that unit, all ducted in and piped. Next slide. And then here's just some more look in the classrooms in Area C that are a little bit further along in some areas. The teaching station drops are in and starting to go in. The painting's done, and then it's hard to see in the picture, but the ceiling grid is coming in. And then there was a lab in the back half of the building in Area C. There was a wall put up, so now there's 2 separate classrooms in there, which is the picture on the right. Next slide. And then here's a better picture of the classroom grid on the left that you see, and then this is kind of the status a little more today than when this picture was taken, but in that main, this is the media center area. Nice cleaned up. Next slide. Okay, so here's the exterior of the building. So the left picture is kind of along, it's along Bay Street when you're driving by. That's what you'll see now, and then this is in the back side of the building by the playgrounds. It was a sunnier day then, but you can kind of see what it looks like now that those louvers are in.
Nice.
Yep, totally changed the view. Next slide. And then this was early on about the exterior improvements that we talked about. The left picture was when they just took out all the asphalt there and started to prep to do all the underground rework to allow the generator pad and the new transformer to come in. The middle picture is the new equipment pads. The one that directly in front there is the new generator pad, and the one behind it is the DTE one. The DTE one was the biggest milestone one. We had to get it in because the transformer was about an 8-week lead time, and we had to get it all inspected. So that was a big push, got it in right before the snow started falling. So that was good to get that checked off. And then we got the right picture is the new generator that's set in place right now and starting to get wired in. That might be it. Thanks.
Yes.
Any questions?
Thank you, yes. Trustee Gross?
Just 2.
Okay.
You said something extremely important that I'm hoping I heard it right. You mentioned something of air conditioning and heating units.
Right. Yes.
I hope that didn't slip you guys. That's important.
Never had it before.
Never had. Thank you. Thank you. So that means on extremely hot days we have
Air.
very cold days throughout the entire building. That's important.
That was one of the main pushes for Harry.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Renting time.
And you've answered a lot of my questions because I was concerned about that parking lot. That was terrible. And Harrington's one of our oldest schools that are left here in the district that we have, way back. And lastly, your question. Near completion or whenever there's time, is there a possibility that we'll be able to go in as a board to take a look and see? Because we were given some hard hats and things like that. And
yes, we were.
We've done that in WHRC and also at the high school. That's how you discovered the tunnels.
Yeah, we want you to. We want you to walk through.
Yes, so give us a date near so we're all available. Yes, and we need 2 new hard hats for our new members, so gotcha. So let us know because we want all of us to be there together. We weren't able to do that in the last 2 visits.
We're coordinating.
We coordinated with
Yes,
our schedules. Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Good looking out.
You come whenever,
Yep.
site dies down around 2:30.
It's
but
great
you can be
news,
there when
man.
the action's happening.
And after I've talked to someone already about the gym floor and things, I'm really good about that as well. I got info on that as well. Thank you. Good job. Thank you, Madam President.
Yeah, thank you. Treasurer Terry?
Yes, somebody else? Y'all good? No? Okay. First question, I know we got the targeting, the substantial completion for July. Will we still be able to be ready and opened up in September?
Yes.
Yes, so the kids will be able to go back home and enjoy the new renovations and everything else. Okay.
Yes, we push it toward July so we can make that happen. It's on target right now.
It's on target? Okay, all right. And then my second question, obviously from a budget standpoint, how are we looking? I know there's no numbers in here, but I'm just want to make sure how we looking budget-wise.
We're looking really good. So for an example, on Harrington, I think there was.
You got microphone?
For Harrington, on top of my head, the contingency that was approved by the board was around 1.7 million. But right now, we're sitting at still 1.1 million, and we're almost 6 months in, where all the major problems would have already shown up. So we're still sitting pretty well.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Very, very happy with it.
Thank you.
I do have one more question. And I know we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because I know we had someone to move our stuff out of there. We're looking at this, we're going to be looking at the same company and possibly the same amounts when we're ready to move things back. And that's a good question that I was teasing Mr. Terry about this, because if we're ready in July, we should be ready in September. But that's all based on moving, getting everything in place. And are we looking at, Dr. Leverett, are we looking at replacing furniture and things like that as part of the bond? Has that been discussed?
The furniture was done a year or two ago already.
We have new furniture.
New furniture's already been in place.
It's already been in place that we've already approved.
Years ago, yes.
Okay, then I'm good. So we'll be in time enough to get everything set
Yeah,
as far as moving.
Yeah. So the cabinets and stuff like that, we get new cabinets and stuff part of the bond to make the building appeal to the building, but the furniture was already purchased a couple of years ago.
Perfect. Thank you.
I have a question. What additional security measures did we put into place?
One of my questions.
The vestibule for one. So like when you come in now and the kids coming out from outside, instead of just coming in and going, walking the building, the door is there now. So the area in the front can be secured where the kids can come in and they can be monitored right there before they go into the building.
Did we put any monitoring devices in classrooms, hallways, or anything like that to improve security?
That's secure. That's not mine. So as of right now, as far as the Wi-Fi, whatever like that we use, all that stuff is being put in place by IT. But security deals with the measures of what comes, they use for checking the kids come in. But security did already purchase brand new equipment. That's in every building now that Chief uses. Done a very good job of doing that. So.
Yeah. Okay, VP Bowman.
All the materials and everything we need has already been purchased, and okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? No? We're good? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Continue on down our agenda. Communications, petitions, and delegations. VP?
There are none.
Okay. Awesome. Now we'll go to our board comments. We'll start over to my right tonight. Trustee Miller.
I was hoping I could start tonight, because I was. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you for attending, for those that are in attendance, thank you for attending our school board meeting. I want to use this time to, first of all, say welcome to the third day of Black History Month. All right? This month, thank you. This month is specifically dedicated to honor the achievements of African Americans and their accomplishments that helped create U.S. history, to contribute to that history. One event that I've noticed that's right here in Pontiac is the Pontiac Public Library is having a Black History Month essay contest, February 27th, from 3 to 5 p.m. So those parents and those educators of little ones, please encourage our kids to participate in that. I look forward to hearing some of the essays and the winners and things of that sort. I want to say something about, I'm a little disturbed about, the challenges that we're facing here as a nation, as a society. I am aware of the peaceful protests from some of our students that decided to stay home from school to protest the things that are going on in America right now. Peaceful protests have been going on since the Civil Rights Movement. So we as Black people, we're aware of that. I want to remind people to begin honoring and respecting everybody's religious beliefs, ethnic backgrounds, gender. I want to remind people to have these difficult conversations, especially with our students. You know, I'm a parent, and I hear about the race wars that are going on in the school district. Who you rolling with? You black or you white, you Hispanic? We're all one phoenix, all of us. I don't care where you came from, if you were born here or not, whatever you identify as, what your gender is, your sexual orientation, none of that matters. We are all one phoenix. And I want to encourage parents and educators, if appropriate, to have that conversation and remind our children that we're all here together and we're all working towards a common goal. That's about it. Thank you for this time, and we're going to all get through this together, as long as we stay focused and understand that we can be different, but begin to look at what similarities that we have with each other, and that will begin to redo the framework of what we are experiencing here as a nation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Trustee Miller. All right, Trustee Dooley.
You was going to go around. I want to thank you for the wonderful gifts you bestowed upon us on last week to all the schools or everyone that took part of that. I want to say thank you. In this district, there's a lot of great things happening in the district, and I've held a lot of conversations with others, parents. I am promoting the district and encouraging those persons to bring their students back to Pontiac. So that's part of what's going on. And as we move together to bring great talent back in the teaching profession, I am encouraging people to check out our employment opportunities, as well as go on Oakland Schools Consortium. If you're out there, I am making a plea to our retired teachers, come back and give us a couple of months, maybe a year of your time until we stack or stock or fill the positions. Because we are here to educate, empower, and excite. To the voters that elected me, there are 7,617 people that voted me to come to this job. Now, I know 50 of you can come to this meeting every other week. So you wanted me here, you came and you asked me to run. I need you to be a part of this. Many of you promised that you would walk this road with me. You know who you are. I need to see your face here, because we are going to have a movement to regain prominence in the educational community. Pontiac Public Schools, PSD, will be #1. We're getting there. And as always, I want to encourage each and every one of us to be nice and kind to one another. I am Trustee Dooley, signing off.
All right, thank you, Trustee Dooley. Secretary Davis.
Good evening, everyone. This was a great short meeting again. I really love the presentations from ITA as well as Mr. Beasley and Satches. I really don't have anything to speak about today. I just want to encourage our families to continue to help our students by reading to our youth and having them to read to them at least 30 minutes a night, and just come and support each other. And I appreciate and thank our staff and administration for continuing to stay here in our district. And that's about it. Have a good night, everyone. Be safe.
All right, thank you. Trustee Gross?
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. First of all, I want to thank you for not having me follow Trustee Miller or Trustee Dooley, because you know I find it difficult to find words to say. No. Thank you. Tonight was good, and I appreciate everything that has been done and what we're doing. And the good thing is we're doing it together, and that makes a difference. So let's continue to do so. I'll have more of an update on the 17th. Because some things are coming up and going, and give you guys a little, information on what's going on and with Trustee Gross and the district and things that we're doing. So I have more information on the 17th, but I want to say thank you for a good meeting, and appreciate everything that we're doing. Have a wonderful evening all. Thank you, and we got 2 more minutes before we break your record. So thank you and good night.
All right, thank you. Treasurer Terry.
Good evening, everyone. I'll make this short then real quick. Just want to say thank you for the presentations that were given today. Information is knowledge, and I enjoy all the facts and details. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the work that you guys are doing. Continue to push those students. Let's continue to move forward with our buildings. I appreciate the report. Looking forward to more to come as we move along as well, and additional projects. So continue to push and continue the great work, and let's continue to push Pontiac forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you. VP Bowman.
This was a wonderful meeting, and I hope that the community here in Pontiac continue to pull together. We have, in this year of 2025, has lost some people. I recently, last month and this month, have lost some family members. So if we can just be mindful and send good energy and prayers out to the families of the community of the city of Pontiac. So great, thanks. Have a good night.
All right. All right. Well, thank you. I do want to make an announcement regarding our summer school. Summer school dates will be June 30th through July 24th, Monday through Thursday. The locations this summer will be at Whitman, which is for pre-K and elementary, as well as Pontiac Middle School, which will be for the middle school and high school students. Project Excel is offered at all levels. So registering for the summer school, a QR code will be coming soon. So keep that in mind, and I'll continue to remind parents that summer school, the dates for summer school. I also wanted to just share condolences to the Elam family. I understand that they lost an aunt who used to be work for the school district. So as we get more information about the family, about his aunt, we'll make sure that we share it, but just wanted to share our condolences. Thanks, trustees, for all you do, administration. Thank you guys for coming consistently to support, and we really do appreciate the work that you're doing in our school district. With that, that's all I have for tonight.
So moved.
Oh, look at here. So we are putting a motion on the floor to adjourn our meeting.
Moved by Bowman.
Okay, it was moved by VP Bowman and supported by Trustee Dooley. Any questions?
Comment real quick.
Comment, okay.
I send condolences out to the King family, the Bradley family, on the loss of one of my classmates, Hal King, who passed away, class of 1980, Pontiac Northern High School. And I just want to send condolences out to them, and arrangements will be made soon. And I'll share that with the class of 80 and others. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
All right, meeting adjourned at 6:59 PM. Thanks.